Good morning, students. Today we'll be learning the graphical representation of motion. We all know that graph is a pictorial representation of the relation between two sets of data. Here we'll be learning two types of graph. One is distance time graph and the second one is velocity time graph. In both the cases, time will be plotted along x-axis, that is the independent axis, and for distance time graph we are showing the change in the position of an object with time, and in velocity time graph we are showing the variation of velocity with time. Now we'll be learning about different types of distance time graph. The first type is where the object is at rest. The nature of the graph will be a straight line which is parallel to time axis. But why is it so? Here it is showing that the time is increasing, but the distance of the object from a particular observer is not changing. That is why the distance from the observer remains the same and the graph is parallel to time axis. The second type of distance time graph is showing the uniform speed of an object, and it is a straight line which is passing through origin, making an angle with the time axis. Why is it so? That time is increasing, and along with the passing time the distance of the moving object from the observer is also increasing or changing. The third type of distance time graph, it is shown, that is showing the non-uniform speed. Here the time is increasing and distance of the object from the observer is also changing, but it is not a straight line because the change in distance of the object from the observer is not uniform. Some cases the change is less and some cases it is more. So it is not a straight line, rather it is a curved line. What type of information do we get from a distance time graph? From the slope of the distance time graph we can find out the speed of the moving object. How? We all know that slope is calculated by tan theta. Tan theta is obtained by perpendicular by base of a right angle triangle. If we drop a perpendicular AB from point A on the time axis, we are getting one right angle triangle ABO where B is the right angle. So perpendicular is AB and base is OB. We know that speed is defined as the distance travelled by time taken. So during the time interval OB, the distance travelled is AB. So we can easily say AB by OB will give us the speed. Let us now see what are the different types of velocity time graph we can draw. The first type is showing the moving object with a constant velocity. This is a graph which is parallel to time axis. Time is increasing but the velocity of the moving object remains unchanged. So the graph is parallel to time axis. The second type of graph we have is showing uniform acceleration, or where the moving object is changing its velocity at an uniform rate. It is also a kind of straight line, but in this case it is not parallel to time axis, rather it is passing through the origin of the body. Here the time is changing and the velocity is also changing, unlike the previous case, but the change in velocity is uniform. That's why it is giving us a straight line. But the distance, but the velocity time graph of an object with non-uniform acceleration will be a curve. From velocity time graph, we get two types of information. The slope of the velocity time graph gives us acceleration, and the area enclosed by the velocity time graph and the time axis is equal to the magnitude of the displacement. The slope is calculated in the same manner as we have done in case of distance time graph to calculate speed from it. Here we know that acceleration is equal to change in velocity in unit time. So here from the given graph, OP is the motion shown in the graph, and from point P we are dropping a perpendicular PR on the time axis. In right angle triangle PRO, R is the right angle, so PR is the perpendicular and OR is base. So during time interval OR, the change in velocity is PR. So by the definition of acceleration, change in velocity by unit time, acceleration is given by PR by OR, which is also equal to perpendicular by base or slope of the line OP. The second information we get from velocity time graph is the distance travelled by the moving body. Here the graph is OP, and the area enclosed between OP and time axis is equal to the area of the right angle triangle OPR. And we know that the formula for area of triangle OPR is equal to half into area of the rectangle ORPQ. So we can easily say that distance travel will be equal to half into OQ into OR. Now we'll derive the first equation of motion from the velocity time graph. Remember, we cannot use a distance time graph for deriving any equation of motion. Why? Because all the three equations of motion are involving acceleration, and distance time graph doesn't help us to find out acceleration. Only velocity time graph does by calculating its slope. Now the first equation of motion is V is equal to U plus AT. How will you calculate that? Let us consider a motion where the initial velocity is U, which is shown by AO in the graph. The final velocity of the object is V, which is shown by BC in the graph. The time for this change from U to V is OC, and the motion is shown by the line AB. Now from the graph we can easily say that the line BC is equal to BD plus DC, and as because AD is a perpendicular drawn from point A on BC, so we can easily say ADCO is a rectangle. So if it is so, AO is equal to DC, which are the opposite sides of a rectangle, and they are equal. So if AO is equal to U, CD is also equal to U. BC was equal to V, so BD will be V minus U. So we can say that V is equal to BD plus U. Now we know that acceleration is equal to change in velocity by time taken, and acceleration can be found by slope of the velocity time graph, and the slope of the line AB is given by BD by AD. So instead of writing AD, we can write BD by OC, because AD and OC are opposite sides of the same rectangle. So we are replacing the value. A is equal to BD by T. T is the time taken, and instead of BD we are writing AT, and Putting this value of BD in the equation, first equation, we are getting V is equal to U plus AT. Now we'll derive the second equation of motion from the velocity time graph. The second equation of motion is for finding the distance travelled, that is S is equal to ut plus half at square. And we have already discussed that from the velocity time graph, the area under the graph gives us the distance travelled. So we have to basically find out the area under the line AB. Here the total area of AOCDB, that is equal to the area of the rectangle AOCD and the area of the triangle ADB. Now area of the rectangle is given by OA into OC, and the area of the triangle is half into base into altitude, that is half into AD into BD. OA is equal to U, OC is equal to AD is equal to T, and BD we have already calculated in the previous derivation that BD is equal to AT. Substituting all the values, we are getting S is equal to UT plus half into T into AT. And finally, by reducing, we are getting S is equal to UT plus half AT square. Now we'll be seeing how to derive the third equation of motion from velocity time graph. We'll use the same logic, that the area enclosed between the velocity time graph AB and the time axis will give us the distance travelled. Since OA plus BC is equal to U plus V and OT is equal to T, so we can easily write that S is equal to U plus V into T by 2. From the first equation of motion, we are getting the value of T. T is equal to V minus U by A, and putting this value of T in this equation, we are getting U plus V by 2 into V minus U by A, and by reducing we are getting V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. Here a worksheet is given which is based on the concept of graphical representation of motion. Solve it, and if you face any difficulty, discuss it with me. Thank you, class.